Hey, this is Keith from Outlaw Speed Shop, and welcome to the Ecto That Never Was. This is a Devils Details Diecast challenge build in honor of Kenny Terry, and I'm wicked happy to be participating in it. I considered Kenny a very close friend, and sadly we lost him. So the goal was to build an Ecto that never was. And the only rules really were that you couldn't start with an Ecto or couldn't use an Ecto casting, but you had to use, the props that were actually on it. So I went out and I bought this Real Riders Ecto 1. It's pretty cool. I'll use it for something afterwards, but I only took it mainly for all the crap that was on the top for the gear and crap like that. And I had this Dodge van, and I thought it was kind of cool. It was already low to the ground. It was already slammed. I love the old vans anyways. I thought it made a perfect Ecto. So, I guess you guys will be the judge in the end, but I kind of dug it. So right now I'm kind of, taking stuff apart just to see what I can use, what I can't use, what I want to use, and a lot of how it's going to fit. And, this was more of a fun build for me, just because it was just something completely different. I don't jump in on every challenge because I just don't have time, and certain ones appeal to me, and this was one of them. And being for Kenny, I was in honor of him. I was pretty much on board the minute it was mentioned. So a lot of this is trial and error as far as seeing what's going to fit. The roofs were I'd say pretty much the same width, so it wasn't too bad. I do have to modify the ladder, and I added a couple things to it, but overall I'm kind of working with all the original stuff. Like I said, I got to cut the ladder off and extend it so that I can set that in the middle of the roof, or as close to the middle as possible, but still have that ladder hanging off the edge. So that was pretty much step one. And as usual, I am breaking out my Dremel tool. I don't think there's a casting I've done in the last year that I haven't used this thing exclusively in quite a lot. So this was no different. There was a few tabs that stuck down on the bottom that prevented it from sitting flush, so I ground those off, and that gives me at least a flat surface to start working with. Then it's just a matter of where I want to place it, because I don't want to cover the wheel well in the back, of course. So, but no matter what, the ladder has to be extended out. So I'm going to try to cut it as flush as I can to the side of the gear rack, and I'll extend it out with some styrene and base it off of whatever I have to for width, as far as clearing the sides and making it fit on the roof in the square center as much as possible. The one thing with the Dremel tool is you do get a lot of plastic fuzz, so you got to trim it really good and file it before you do anything after you've cut it. So that's the one downside. You can use cutters, you can use jeweler's saw, a lot cleaner, a lot neater. But I'm all about making things quick and easy. And for me, a Dremel tool is just second nature, so I tend to probably overdo it on that end. But like I was saying, I think this was kind of a fun challenge. I haven't done a lot of builds lately. I have, as a matter of fact, the same day this is coming out, the 4 Horsemen build for the month came out. So I got a little bit behind. I'm working on a Volkswagen Bug and a couple other things, but it's been kind of a busy month, and I got into RC, and that's been sucking up a lot of my time. And I was getting a little overwhelmed when it came to the builds, so I kind of just chilled out a little bit, so it wasn't so overwhelming on my end, and I apologize. But I enjoy doing this, of course, but there are times where other things like life get in the way. So I apologize if I wasn't putting one out every week. Even though I'm putting out 2 in one day, it still doesn't equal out to what I've missed by trying to put them out weekly. So I'll try to get back on schedule now that the summer's over. Hopefully it won't be as bad. and I can get back to building. And plus, I'm trying to do a little bit more in-depth builds instead of just paint and wheel swaps. So they take time, and I also was at a little bit of a creative block for trying to come up with ideas. So that was, I guess it's just a bunch of excuses, but it's it's the reality of it. So, anyways, I apologize. So mainly, I'm just trying to fit, all the little pieces that were on that rack that were holding it to the roof of the original Ecto. Just trying to make them all fit. So here, I'm gonna drill 2 small holes. I'm using some real small 20 gauge wire that I'm just going to use. It had a blue molded hose that came off the side and went down the side, or came off the roof and then went down the side of the Ecto. So instead of using the plastic thing, which is kind of cheesy, I ended up using 2 pieces of wire. I used a red and a blue piece. I believe, I'm not even sure. I want to say 20 or 22 gauge. I had a piece of multi-conductor wire from work, so I just stole that. You can use a good place to get some wire is coax, not coax. I'm sorry, Cat 5 wire. Stuff that you find around your house. If you get an extra cord, patch cord kicking around, cut the ends off, strip it back a little bit, and you can pull the wire right out. And that's really, really thin, and there's multiple colors in there. So that's just a little tip for you. This stuff is a little stiffer, so I was able to work with it a little bit easier, even though it was kind of a pain in the neck, and I regretted it in the end. But anyways, that's what that's supposed to be simulating. You can kind of see I added a little piece on the back of styrene just to shore things up a little bit and fill in a little bit of a gap that was there when I trimmed everything up. Just didn't sit completely flush on the roof, because the roof of the van is more curved than the roof of the Ecto, which was almost perfectly flat. So you kind of get the gist of what I'm doing there. I'm trying to kind of mock it up. But overall, the next step was to strip it, which I put it in the citrus strip for a couple days, mainly because I forgot about it. And little Scotch-Brite wire wheel, and overall you get yourself a pretty clean casting. Now I'm going to go, you can also see the ladder, how I extended it out with a piece of styrene as well. So here I'm kind of marking off where I want this, but mainly so I can mark the holes where the wire is going to go, or the tubing is going to go in the side of the casting. So that was kind of the whole point of that mock-up. But, tap the hole. It's only got one, because it hooks on the back in front of the rear bumper. So, and I always put the screws back in so that way I don't fill the hole with paint or anything like that. And I kind of went a different route this time. After looking at it in the bare casting, I decided I'm going to paint it, prime it white, and I'm going to prime the base black. But I'm going to go with silver. I'm using a splash paint, it's Cortez Silver. And then I'm going to do the roof with this candy apple red, which kind of come out pink, but it is what it is. And then I painted the rims the same candy color, just so the silver went through. I made a bunch of decals. If you notice, there's like 8,000 different sizes. That's because I am also very lazy, and I kind of got a rough idea what I wanted, but I made a bunch of different sizes because I had to print the sheet anyways. And that allowed me some flexibility to kind of see what was going to fit where and how. And that's what I ended up doing there. Just trying to place things in different spots to see what was going to fit, what I was going to like, what I wasn't going to like. But I just thought the silver would be different. I figured everybody's going to be doing white. The original Ecto was white. We're trying to do an Ecto that never was. I thought the silver was kind of classy. I kind of dug it. And in the end, I guess beauty's in the eye of the beholder. So some of you are going to look at that and chastise me for going a different color when an Ecto is supposed to be white. I guess that's kind of the reason why I did it, was to be different. You win some, you lose some. I like it. In the end, I guess that's all that matters. But I try to be somewhat. I guess I don't like to do things like everybody else does. So. That's just the, I don't know if that's the male in me or the rebel in me, or I honestly don't know, but I just like to be different. So decals are not my thing. I'm not a big fan of them, as you know, and I've stated many times if you watched any of my videos. but it's a necessary evil in the hobby, so I do try to work on them. Then really, it's for detail painting. There wasn't a lot. I hit the chrome, Multoff chrome pen, did the taillights, the headlights, and all the hinges, which really don't stand out too much because it's a silver vehicle to begin with. And then I just went over the areas with red, just trying to be somewhat accurate as far as the scale goes and what we were trying to accomplish here. And again, the roof, I probably could have gone just plain red instead of candy over the silver. And once I realized it, I tried putting it on heavier, and the heavier I went, the more orangey pink it looked. But again, live and learn. Now I know, and that's a lot of this hobby is trying different combinations of things to see what's going to work and what isn't. Some are going to be hits, some are going to be misses. Now I know. Silver and the candy red over that from the splash paints just doesn't really bode well for the look I was going for. So you live and learn, and that's the name of the game. And with every casting and every custom you do, you learn something. Excuse me. If you beat yourself up over every mistake, you'd never finish a casting, and that's kind of the way it goes in the hobby. Just chalk it up to a learning experience. And then I put 5 coats of clear on it. I used the Automotive 2K clear, and I've been hosing it on there. I kept the interior green. I just thought it was kind of spooky, and I liked it. If you like the content, make sure you like this video, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified of all future videos. Not sure if you guys are aware, but I do have an Outlaw Custom Club YouTube membership with special benefits. Some members-only content like website discounts to customs that I have for sale, behind-the-scenes videos, progress pictures and content, so on and so forth. Make sure you check it out. So this is what we started with. This was I really enjoyed this challenge, and I'm so glad Jamie from Devils Details Diecast did this. He's actually going to be auctioning off a black Ecto on eBay, so make sure you check out his build and his channel. This is the finished product. I love the stance on this thing. It kind of speaks for itself. I went black on the bumpers, on the grill. Again, I kind of went out of the norm a little bit on this as far as what you would expect to see as an Ecto, which is kind of the heart of the whole challenge. So again, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I know the colors are all over the place, and I like it that way. I could have gone with a red interior or a white interior. I left it green because I just thought it was spooky, and it was kind of reminiscent of the original as far as the colors from the logo, the Slimer thing, and all that crap. So anyways, I hope you guys like it. Let me know in the comments, or I'm sure you will anyways, what you think of it. And once again, thanks to Jamie from Devils Details Diecast, and I will catch you on the next one.